Hey, I'm MindieKniss. This is the Daily Rage. Let's take a look at where we ended up this week. This is the Dow. I'm looking at the micro Dow, but they're going to look fairly similar. That is just gnarly. That is a terrible kind of spinning top candle. Here's why. Because not only is it a spinning top, which regular spinning top would be like this. It means indecision, so that's not very helpful to us as traders. There is no clear direction, but worse off is the range of this thing. That is just brutal. 534 points today on the Dow. Whew. That being said, we did take out target one earlier in the week and then again today. So this that candle is just, I don't even like looking at it. We're just going to bracket it and take our directions from that. All right, those are your targets. Nice and tight. Okay, moving on to the S&P or the micro S&P. It looks like we were just shy of this target right here today. Let's see what the high was. 5585 and we were at 5587. Okay, pretty darn close. But again, a lot of indecision on that, so yuck. I'm going to move this up because I do like that little shelf area that is creating. That is some strong support right there. So we'll use that as target one to the low side, essentially around today's low. And then the next up, let me just scooch this up a teeny bit. Second target, 54.61 to the low side. It did flip that parabolic SAR today. So if it does do what it's supposed to do in these kind of situations, it will head lower. All right, now looking at the NASDAQ, there was a lot of serious movement on this thing. I was trading this earlier this morning. It went down significantly, then it went up significantly, then it went down significantly. So you could have made money on both sides today. Looks like, again, we were like just shy of this. We were at 19,900. The low of the day was at 19,906. So you could just keep it at 19,900, or we can do this. Just go down to this next stair step down as target one. And then let me just scooch this down a bit for target two. To the high side, we can flip flop these. We'll take today's high-ish, followed by 2372. All right, now taking a look at the Russell. I talked about yesterday, it was the big winner of the day in terms of the indexes. And I would say that again today, it's the only one that maintained its green status today. Now, granted, it was coming from below the cloud, so like it had a lot more work to do. These other guys were already above the cloud, so little different scenario, but this is the underdog, so I'm gonna give it its win. We'll move that up to around today's high. As for the low side, let's just grab this additional candle, add a little more strength to that support level. And then this one can stay as a target two. We had, though, taken out those long targets. So congrats if you had taken the trade. Oof, Bitcoin's looking nasty. We are way down in here. We took out those short targets. So let's get these things moved lower here and then down to the next level here. These guys are pretty high. We can go there, and that one can stay just roughly the bottom of the cloud area up there. That's totally fine. Micro ETH, we're heading toward 3353. May get there fairly soon. I'm gonna make it a little harder. I'm gonna bump that down because I want to get exactly where this one bounced off from. This one can come up quite a bit. As for the high side, yeah, why not? We'll just make it a little tighter. And it looks like it's going to close below the cloud, though, indicating a brand new fresh short. Moving on to gold. Gold has had just kind of a weird time. It like is so choppy, and then it'll have this big move, and then so choppy, and then, two big moves, and then chop again. So anyway, just slightly closing below the cloud. Like, I wouldn't put a lot of weight in that, but we can move this one down to here. We'll keep that one there. As for the high side, let's see. If we're going to close below the cloud, we might as well call it a short and put a tighter target on the top side. Silver, lots of wick on that guy. So let's do this. That looks pretty decent. Copper, little bounce today. Couldn't sustain it though. You can see a lot of wick on top of that candle. So let's, because it is heading at least in the upward direction, let's use that as target one. And I like this one back here where this went up, 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 sold off a bit, and then pew, bounced. From that high side, let's use the turning line, and then this one can come right to this point here. Wrapping it up with a little micro crude, lots of wick. Man, it is a wicky day today. As I said earlier, that makes our job much more difficult because there is not a clear direction in this thing. Okay, that looks great for micro crude. So those are your targets going into next week. Hope you did well today with all the wild moves. I'll be hosting a free workshop on Tuesday evening called Make Money from Your Mind. Turn your knowledge into profit. Heads up, if you happen to have signed up yesterday and did not receive an email with the date and the time and the link for the webinar, please register again. There was a little glitch in my system. I figured it out real quick yesterday after the email sent out, but I want to make sure that if you were to have signed up before that, that you got the right email, that you do have the link for the webinar, and that you're good to go for Tuesday evening. Have an amazing weekend, and I'll look forward to talking to you soon. I'm MindieKniss. Thanks so much for watching.